Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we are back in the newly updated PMDG 737-800. We're here at Bristol and we're going to be doing a summer flight down to Santorini. Brand new scenery from 29Palms. It's really nice, it's the whole island plus the airport. So we're going to take this 737-800, it's registered Golf Delta Foxtrot Papa. It's one of JET2's oldest aircraft. I'm going to be taking this down to Santorini. Flight time today of 3 hours 25 minutes. We'll be able to cut that down. I think we're going to be taking off on runway 27 here at Bristol and arriving on runway 15. My air out data is slightly out of date, so the departure we're going to be doing out of Bristol is the old one, even though the new one's on the flight plan. We're taking 13 tons of fuel. Zero fuel weight's going to be 55 tons today. So, without further ado, let's get the aircraft all set up. So we're going to go battery and ground power, emergency exit lights. Then we're going to go up here. We're going to make sure the IRSs are on heading STS so we can see the time. And we're going nav and nav. They should come alive. And then the time should appear up there, sorry, in a second. And then we'll do the rest of the overhead flow, which is the window heats can come on, and the electric and hydraulic pumps can come on. We get the packs into auto as well. Right, so let's get the aircraft loaded. So we're taking 13 tons of fuel, I believe I said. Yeah, 13 tons of fuel and a payload of 55.9. There you go. So we'll wait for the aeroplane to wake up a little bit. We get the middle fuel pump on as well, and it should 7 minutes on the IRS alignment, which is fine. So we go FMC, Oz in it, Echo, Golf Delta, and then we'll give it a minute because the IRS won't appear on the next page yet, it is blank. And what we'll do is we'll have a look at the flight plan. So today we are going to be departing off 27. The route's going to take us up north out of Bristol and then across just before reaching London, turn southwards over France. As we exit France, over Italy, down through the foot of Italy, and then over Kalamata, and this is Zante down here, and into the island of Thera, or Santorini, on runway 15, doing the RNAV today. So that's all sorted. Here, typical Bristol weather, cloudy, it's 19 degrees, 1021, 10 knots, 250, so slight crosswind. And then when we arrive into Santorini, it's 32 degrees, 1007 on the QNH. The winds are favouring runway 33, however in real life they're landing on 15 at the moment, so we're going to stick with 15, and if the winds do get slightly worse, hopefully it should calm down. I think it should be variable at 2 knots when we get there. And then if we go and have a look at the flight plan down here, we can have a look at the weather. So there's our routing today, of course, Aviation-SIM, and then we've got some heavy weather systems to the north, but we'll be avoiding all of that. And then yeah, should be really nice when we get down there. And it's a tailwind pushing us all the way along. That looks all good. So 1021 on the QNH. Let's back to our turn, and we'll get the left IRS in, and we'll get the route. So it's Echo Golf Delta, Lima Golf, Sierra Romeo. Oh no, yeah, that's it. We'll activate that. We are Chanex 2 Papa Kilo, and we're taking off at runway 27. Going to put departing 27 on the Buddy 1 X-ray, and then we're going to be arriving on the RNAV 15 on the Pexar 1 Echo, and I think that's via Lecra. Let me just make sure. No, so there is actually no via, which is fine. Just like that. Or actually no, X-ice. Sorry, yeah. Then we've got legs, and then we'll sort this out. Like I said, my air out data is a bit out of date, so we're just going to have to sort of cowboy our way. SID. So everything looks fine there, and then what we'll do is, instead of, we'll go from the intersection to Orpha, sorry. And then, yeah, that looks better. And then let's check the arrival. So no discontinuities yet, and the arrival pretty straightforward, and the go around pretty straightforward as well. So we got left flight director on. I'm doing the right flight director. We'll go to 6,000 feet, which is stop altitude of the SID here, and let's get the performance loaded. So first things first, 6,000 feet, and we'll actually request the performance. It should take a minute. I haven't used this feature on the 7.3. I usually do it manually, but I realised I could do it the other day. There's perfect link. We'll load that. So we're cruising at 370 today, so we'll get 370 in. We'll actually get seatbelt sign on now. We'll start the APU while we're at it. 370, 2.8 is reserved. We'll actually change that to 3 just to give us a bit of leeway. 55.9, 13 tons of fuel, 6,000 feet to our transition altitude. There's our cruise winds, and we'll go N1 for our departure limits. Right, so let's get our performance calculator. So we are performance limited here at Bristol, and I believe we are quite heavy today. So let's see if we're going to be able to get out of here, which is fine. Yeah, so we're going to go flap 25, bleeds on. So packs on flap 25. Let's see what it says with them off. So we could go flap 5, bleeds off. What would be best? So we're performance limited out of here, so we want the most maximum performance. So if it's giving us flap 5 with packs off, let's do a packs off departure. It's more interesting. It's a lot harder to do it in the 7.3 than the Airbus. So we'll get all the APU on now. Fuel pumps on. We'll get some conditioned air into the cabin. So all we have to do when we do a bleeds off departure is we turn the engine right bleed off, the APU bleed stays on, the left bleed stays off as well. We keep the APU on, and then when we pressurise the aircraft, we make sure we don't back pressure, and we just follow the steps again for conditioned air. I believe there may be a bump in cabin pressure as well. I don't know if it's modelled in the PMDG, but we'll see. So everything looks good so far. Let's get the data plugged in then. So we're doing takeoff, optimum temperature, and we're going to go flap 5, and we're just going to double check. So we've got flap 5 with a trim of 5.66, sorry, and 5.66. 141, 142, 151, 140, 142, 151. So that's one knot off. We can live with that, and 151 can be popped in here as well. So we are just going to wait for the IRSs to align, which it should have done now, shortly. And what we'll do while we're waiting is we'll go Echo Golf Golf Delta. We'll pop in a fixture into 5 miles, and 10 miles, and then runway 15. When we land, we'll go /5, /10, and /115. So all that means is 5 miles is where we need to be completely fully configured and established. /10 is the minimum there I want to be flap 1, and then 115 should when you start descending, just so I can see it better on the PFD. So we're going to go LNAV for departure. We're going to be departing straight out. When we are at Delta 268 Echo, we're going to make a right turn to the intersection and then up to Orpha. We're going to use bug up speed to climb initially, and then we'll go vertical speed to clean up the flaps. We'll stay on vertical speed until we get to 6,000, which we should be level at by Orpha. After that we'll climb on the SID, which should be, so it says 11,000, but on the, it's just because it's not an actual SID. We want to be 6,000, so we'll continue with 6,000, and then we'll climb up after Orpha on our own. Right, so we'll get legs on this page, init reference on this page. We'll go menu, airface actions, ground services, remove chocks, back on menu reference. And we can look outside and watch the ground equipment clear. Right, so that is the ground equipment all clear. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to Pushback. This is the free toolbar Pushback that you can get on the flightsim.to website. It does say update available, but this is the best version I'm on. It works perfectly. So we're going to push back and face the wrong way to begin with, and then just
cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Set parking brake, and the packs can come off. And the beacon light can come on now.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches
Reset the
closed
fuel
and all
flow
ground
as well.
equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Good to TAR, right? We're offline, so just get that set up now.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
So, we are ready.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
So, we're waiting till we're a little bit clear of the gate here because it's all congested at Bristol. It's only a small airport, so we're going to start engine so we're clear. And we'll do that now. Engine number 2 to ground. And we'll wait till it's at 25%. And fuel can go in. As we push back by this TUI, the scenery you're looking at is by Pilot Plus. I believe it's their Bristol scenery. It is about £16 on the Microsoft Flight Simulator home store page. I bought this quite a long time ago actually because I enjoy flying out Bristol. It's always a challenge, in and out actually. So yeah, it's very nice scenery. It's slightly heavier on frame sometimes. I do find it's heavier than sort of other sceneries. Like I just recently bought Innie Luton, and that's really good for on framed, and this is ever so slightly heavier than that. In the middle, fuel pumps on now, and we'll go engine number 1 start.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Right, aircraft has been lowered. Throw the fuel in.
Ground.
And that's
You
engine
may disconnect.
number 1
Okay,
starting.
sir. Cleared to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
that should be engine number 1 coming alive now. So V speeds are all correct. Engine number 1 is started and they are, just let's double check, away from us. So right, let's get the aircraft configured. It is different to how we usually configure the 737. So we go left gen, right gen, taxi light on, engine start switch is continuous, probe heat on, then we go left pack, right pack, close the isolation valve, and then we go right and left. So bleed 2 and 1 off, but the APU bleed stays on because that's giving us pressurisation to the cabin. Okay, and now we will go flaps 1, 2 and 3. So we're going straight to flap 5 now. Blank the lower DU. And we'll do our flight control check when the flaps have extended to 5. Which they have there. So we have 5 green light, and we'll go full right, neutral, full left, neutral, full forward, neutral, and full back, neutral. Now for the rudders, full left, neutral, and full right, neutral, right. We are ready to push. Well, not push, sorry, taxi. So give it a couple of notches of thrust. We'll carry on left, and it's just straight down to the end of runway 27 here today. Be interesting to get in Santorini as well. It's a short runway, so got difficult departure and then a difficult arrival. So it's going to be a tough day for us trying to get the aircraft there safely. Our nav approach though, it's a bit nicer than runway 33 where it's sort of a visual DME approach where it sort of brings you quite off centre and then you have to sort of follow the island round. The RNAV's a bit nicer because it just brings you right in front of the runway and then descends you down to I think 700 feet, so that's okay. But the runway at Santorini is very narrow, so it gives you the impression that you're always high, and we're going to be landing sort of early evening, late evening, so it might be a bit dark. But I wanted to do real time like the real aircraft from Bristol leaves, which as you can see is 2:30, so we're actually 9 minutes early. Well, this is perfect actually because you're allowed to push back 10 minutes before your scheduled departure time, so we should be taking off dead on time. So if I clear a few restrictions on the way and get our routes in a bit more skewed up, should be able to get there ahead of schedule basically. So I tell the cabin crew to sit down now, but they've just finished their safety demo. And in on the real 737, what would happen now is, well, before I would have pressed that button, cabin senior would have phoned the flight deck and told them that cabin is secure. Then that ding, all that means is to make sure that you are seated. We are about to take off. It's the same when we land. The ding means that we are going to land very soon. Right, so order throttle on, landing lights on, runway turn-offs on, strobe light can come on. As we're about to turn the corner, runway ahead. First time going to Santorini in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I did a flight in the Airbus from Luton to Santorini, and the scenery is brilliant. So very much looking forward to sending the 7.3 in there. Slightly different type of flying there, the 737. So the Airbus, the RNAV was quite easy to do because it's still for you basically, but in the 737 it's slightly harder. Keeps you on your toes. Right, let's square it off. So this has been newly updated as well, the 737, in line with the 777 as well. So I don't know what really they've done to it, but it does fly. It still flies really nice. So look at that for a lineup. Perfect. Right. So what we'll do now is we are ready. I'll hold the brakes because it's a short runway. Let's pull it up to 40%. Slight forward pressure. Turbo.
Knots.
Checked.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. And up we are. Trim the aircraft out now. Keep it there, that bar's telling me to go slightly too high. Speed trim there. That's fine, 1000, bug up. Speed check, flaps 1. And I'll bug 240 now. Vertical speed, get about 1500 feet per minute, and we'll go Command A, and flaps up. Let's get the aircraft pressurised. So there you go, and that is as easy as it is, and the aircraft now is pressurising, the duct pressure is going up, and we are using the edgy bleeds to pressurise the aircraft. Gear can come up and off, unable to 250, that's fine. Start switch is to off as well, as we climb out of the Bristol countryside here. Always nice flying out of Bristol. 1500 feet as well, it's just nice, it's a gradual climb. Don't want to put too much stress on those passengers, especially out of Bristol, they've just been rocketed out. And through a bit of cloud now as well. Lovely, look at that. Right, above the clouds now, 1000 feet per minute as we are about to level off. Taxi lights come off now. There you go, look at that, beautiful. Release the crew, they can start their in-flight duties. And level off perfectly at 6,000. And actually what I'll do is we'll just go direct, unzip and clear that. We'll go VNAV, and we'll go straight up to 370 now. And standard. Climbing up now. Getting through 7,000, climbing nicely. There you go. So we have 3 hours 20 left. 4.7 at the moment we're landing at, which is brilliant. About to go through 8,500. Turn the lights off now to broad daylight. Alright. And that was pretty successful departure. I've been packed off from Bristol. So just about to go through 10,000. Aircraft will go and accelerate by pitching down to our climb speed. There's 10,000. There's the bug. Pitch down for that now. And it seems to be smoothing out. So I'm going to seatbelt sign off. And I will leave you guys now with some climbing cruise highlights, and I'll see you in about 3 hours when we're descending to Santorini. We are well and truly in our descent now. We have about 40 miles to run until we're in Santorini. As you can see over there, there's the island of Thera. The runway's on this side over here. We've got the weather in Santorini is absolutely lovely. It's gone down to 010 at 5 again. Like I did say, with the winds were supposed to calm down, that's why they're using 15. 30 degrees, 1007 is the QNH. It's really nice. Our alternate is Athens, and that's nice as well. So we are on VNAV. We're on speed. I'm just watching it to not let us run away. The passengers have been seated now for about 15 minutes while the cabin crew get the cabin ready. We've turned some lights on because it's gone quite dark now. We're landing sort of late evening. We didn't get any shortcuts, I just left it to do the route because it's just the quickest. There wasn't much turning either, so we're on time still. And here's our deceleration point here. So we need to watch them, make sure we don't deviate from VNAV because we are on an RNAV approach. So also we have gone for flat 30, which is 143. So it's 148 will be our final approach speed, and we're going to go max auto brake. So auto brake 3 and flat 30 will get us down. However, I do not trust auto brake 3 for some reason. It just doesn't seem like it does much effective braking. So we're going to go max auto, flat 30, and yeah, it says if we went auto brake 3, it would take us to the end. But I'd rather go max auto just in case. I don't, I might land it right at the end of the touchdown zone and float it. So we'll do that and be safe. So it's going to start decelerating now. So I'm going to use a bit of speed brake to help it out. Lovely. Also, we're getting down to 700 feet. I'll take control before 700. Stow the speed brakes in now. Lovely. Managed that quite well actually. So, oops, sorry, wrong button, but there is the island. As you can see, it's been fully mapped out in a different ortho. It looks really nice when we come into land. We'll see. Don't know what VNAV's doing here. It's caught it again. Lovely. Okay, so we've gone through 10,000 feet now. Got the running lights on. We'll have a quick look outside. That does indeed look nice. What's that island we've just gone past? It's not gonna say, is it? Nope. Fair enough. I have to find out what that island was. There we go, we might just catch the last bit of sunset before we land. So, right, well, not yet, but we're going to start thinking about slowing ourselves down. I'll get some lighting on there for the bottom pedestal. So, about 10 miles until we reach the first point of the arrival. Still on glide, keeping the speed nicely now. Actually, what I'll do, I'll give it a little hand. we'll go 210 on the speed. So it's not slowing down as much as I'd like it to. Seems okay though. Just turn that down a bit, it's getting a bit bright, that PFDs. Right, okay. Oh, not that one. There you go, so there's the airport loaded in there. As you can see, the island is coming into life with some nice lights. Let's go flat one, just to make sure we are slowing down. And I'm actually going to bug the flat one speed. Well, we'll go a bit above the flat one speed, we'll go 190. That should help it out a bit. I'm going to turn on to final now. Flat 5, speed brakes in. Didn't mean to get it that bright, get some lights on as well. There you go. Look at that with the sunset. Timed it perfectly, this flight ruler, for the lights and everything. We'll be able to have a nice view of the scenery as well, because it's still light enough to see. Right, so we're bang on VNAV still. We'll bang on the glide. Steer the speed brakes properly this time. Going through 4,000, sorry. Right, let's have a quick look at the taxi charts. Very simple. We're going to go right to the end because we're definitely not making the this taxiway here. So we're going to go right to the end. Golf Alpha after the ramp, which is in here, and I think we're going to take stand 9, which is here. It's 9 or 6 here. That's where the real aircraft landed. So we've actually managed the speed quite nicely. It's the first time the thrust cover since we started our descent. So right down to 3,000 feet we've gone without having thrust. We'll go over to the first officer's seat to have a look out.
2,500.
They've done what the flight Tampa did with Corfu, so they've modelled it themselves. It's really nice. Really nice bit of scenery. Right, altimeters alive, or radio altimeters alive. We've got a minimum set of 475, 700 set in, but gear down. Flight 15. And our final approach speed will be 148. Give it a second. I'm actually ding the cabin, make it sit down. Task switch is continuous, tax light on, rest and landing lights on. Lovely. And 148. Final approach speed set. Landing flaps set. And we're fully established. 2 red, 2 white. We're actually slightly low. We're actually really 4 red. Bang on glide. Okay.
1,000.
1,000 checked. Hi airplane. Off control. Right, let's try and sort these puppies out, because I think we are a bit low. We're bang on the glide. Or the VNAV, sorry.
Approaching minimums.
So,
500.
1 white, 500 checked.
Minimums.
Minimums landing. 2 red, 2 white, so we're fine now. Watching the puppies.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Speed brakes up. Reverse green decel. Manual braking. Speed brakes in. Reverses in, sorry, and we're down. What a nice little approach that was. Bit of land having Santorini. We'll roll it right to the end. Keep the speed up. Stunning. Right. Don't think it was too hard of a landing either for Santorini as well. Quite nice. So we'll taxi off here. Speed brakes can come in, flaps can come in. Start the APU straight away. We'll get all the lights off as well. And we'll taxi on up to the parking stands up here. So that was a nice flight, that was. Of course, again, this scenery is by 29 Palms. It's a complete rendition of the island and the airport, which is why it was so good. Brilliant. That beautiful sunset in the distance as well. Wasn't too bad of a landing either, right on the touchdown zone. Had a really good landing into it yesterday with the Airbus, but don't know what kept me low, unless that's a problem with the PMDG. Taxi on up. So what I'll do actually is get dim light on so we can see what we're doing, get the APU on. So have a quick look at these taxi charts, like I said, straight down on Delta, and then what we'll do is we'll come in on Charlie, or Alpha, sorry, to Delta, left on Delta, then into the ramp. That might have been why I did set my QNH to 1007, but it was set at 1018. That's why we're probably very low. Oh, that was dangerous. Right, okay. That was silly of me. Start switches can come off now as well. So it definitely wasn't the PMDG, it was me with this. Yeah. You see there's a little church over there in real life. Do not know if it's modelled, and there it is. That. Brilliant. This airport in real life was recently updated, I think it was 2023. They updated it with a new layout. It has traditional parking stands now where you park in front of the terminal. Instead of on a self-positioning stand, it's got new interior, new like outside, so it's quite nice. A lot of the airports in Greece did need a refurb, they're a bit horrible, but this one was one of the first to get one done. It looks really nice, and 29Palms have done a really good job, as you can see. Completely finished exterior and interior of the airport as well. Really nice. And this is our left hand turn here. And stand 9, that's where I wanted to park. So, engine number 1 can come off, taxi light can come off. And I think that'll do nicely there. Set the parking brake, engine number 2 can come off. Passenger signs can come off. Beacon light can come off, and we'll get the air conditioning into the cabin for the passengers because it's really hot. Probe heats can come off now. And we'll get the chocks set. Press ground power. We'll get, I'll wait for the fuel truck actually, we'll get stairs. And a passenger bus. We'll go outside. Or a bit of a botched job on the parking. Welcome safely down to Santorini. What a nice little flight that was. Brilliant scenery again by 29Palms. Well worth the money. I think it's £18 on the Microsoft Flight Simulator store page. Like I said, it does come with a complete rendition of the island and the airport. It's not just the airport that is seen now. And it is brilliant. Not much more I can say about it really. Actually, what I'll do is let's change the time to middle of the day. As you can see, they have done the island really nicely. It's got its own photogrammetry and custom buildings. Oh, so let's get that set to when we were. That there. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. We'll probably jump back into the PMDG 777 next time, or maybe the Phoenix. Again, X-Plane's still playing up for me, so won't be jumping back into that anytime soon at the moment. But for now, I'll leave you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.